Yo, good afternoon. How you been? It's been a rough handful of weeks, and oh my gosh, what is that? Who's bothering me? Let me adjust my settings because I don't want to hear random notifications. Really rattle me when I'm in the middle of talking about God knows what. So how you been? How you been? This is Delion, and I have been tired as hell ever since. Well, last week was the whole strike. It was a whole week, but the teachers that came together and staff members as well, and some families, they managed to, after a week, that's pretty long. They finally came to an agreement with what what they had in mind, and they achieved all of those what they wanted to get in order to continue working, because it's not cheap to live here, okay? So especially on a teacher and staff salary, like the hell. So I'm glad that they managed to achieve that, and the kids went back to school as of this past Wednesday. Yeah, there was President's Day, and then they had Chinese New Year slash Spring Festival slash New. My God, there's like this whole bunch of Asian technicalities. What's how to say the correct way? I only go with what my in-laws said, and they said Spring Festival. So I'm like, okay, if you say Chinese New Year and you're Chinese, yeah, but there's all these technicalities, and they say, oh, Filipinos should jump in on that Chinese New Year too, and I'm like, um, they already do. Philippines, especially in the Chinatown over there, they have their own stuff there. But I think it's not as heavily uh, emphasized as, say, like in the Chinatown districts. But I kind of do, because half my family is Chinese, and well, I mean by that my husband's Chinese. But yeah, as you can see here, what does it have to do? Oh, hey, how you been? I'm tired. I'm a lot better. Last time I wasn't feeling so well because I ate something that didn't agree with me, so I wasn't as hyper, I guess. How you been? Long time no talk. As you can see here, I'm going to test. I'm on an ongoing test, making sure these are not dried out because I need to use my art supplies. Why I kind of don't like using these is because I have to take out all these freaking markers out, like so. It's kind of a hassle. That's why I've been avoiding. Oh, and the plastic sounds are not cute. And I kind of forgot the color scheme. I know it's green, so I could just use green as a base and then just work from there. But I probably have to go for like a light spring, grass green, whatever, just to be on the safe side, because I kind of forgot the color scheme. All I know is he has green. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I think that's a global thing. Even though, like, oh, our education is better, this and that. Ultimately, they're gonna teach you things you totally don't need. I wish they taught us like the most boring, mundane, but we actually need it in the long term. Like taxes, that sounds hella boring, but when you have to do taxes, like it'd be great if someone taught us how, you know, rather than just shoving it to like some tax office and they charge you service fees. Though, fun fact, I'm the designated accountant slash tax person, filer, whatever. So, despite how I sound, I do have to do the taxes. So, I'm supposed to be doing it right now, but I got stuck in a section. But I do know what to do now, but I decided to do this instead. Accountant at its finest. I'm just kidding. But yeah, well, hopefully school is going well despite having to tackle down God knows what over there. I don't miss school, to be honest. People say, "Oh, school life is the best." Oh my God, I managed to successfully have it as a blur because I don't remember enjoying school. They was like, hey, you need to appreciate. Have you actually been in a school where God, you have to deal with people you don't like, and what they don't tell you is it follows you into work environments. You'll encounter people at work you also don't like, but you have to work with them. That's even worse, especially if you have to share payroll and they earn more than you, even though you know they're lazy as balls. Oh my God. And then you have to play nice with them, or you get in trouble, or even sometimes in certain situations, you get fired because you spoke out and you're trying to make right. And they're like, you know what? This is not looking good for our company. I'm not saying that happened to me, but it's increasing over time, especially with the internet around and employees talking smack about other people or the company. Like they talk smack about their own company. Like that's kind of stupid. Don't do that. If you have something not nice to say, turn off your internet. Oh my God. Or be a, like, geez. I know, pretty much. I mean, you can, and then you get fought. You get charges pressed against you. You know, you got to pick your poison. I don't know. I was too. I just wanted to go home and just did not want to deal with all that extra drama. Because then, especially at work, when you have to work with some people, you have to like, do I want to pick a fight with this jerk, or get thrown in the office and get suspended, or you lose your work, your monies. So again, yeah, it's a lot different in school. School, you have principals getting expelled. Oh, it's on your record. Work, your money's involved, and you got to pay bills. So it's similar, but more extreme in the real world. It sucks. Yeah, yeah, totally. Let me see. So I'm just trying to clean this up. That's another thing why I did not like working with watercolor markers. I mean, I also have watercolor paints, but I think this is a little faster for me. So that's what I've been doing with trying to speed up the process. I know, like in art um, channels, they kind of show the entire process, and it's so aesthetically pleasing, and it's so beautiful, and it goes on effortlessly. I don't have that crap. I mean, I can get the nice materials if I wanted to, but it's like, eh. At most, I would probably consider the brushes, just because I always struggle with maintaining my brushes. I don't give a shit. That's my fault. I don't give a crap. But other than that, I just do whatever. I'm not, and then hopefully it comes together as I try to tighten and clean things up with the colors, especially because I used to hate coloring. I used to worry I was going to destroy the work because I was a lot stronger in doing pencils and pen rather than colors. It's a caterpillar from A Bug's Life, I think. Heimlich, I think his name is Heimlich. I didn't used to like him that much, but he kind of grew on me because I want to be a fat, slobby butterfly too. But yeah, he was. I just wanted to put something different besides my usual cotton candy pastel colors. This one's just a bunch of greens. And I also noticed I don't have a lot of certain colored themed work. Like yellows, I don't have too much. Greens, I don't have too much. I don't know, I have some greens, but I like to put more. And then orange, I tend to stray away from. I don't know why. I tend to go towards blues, pinks, purples, pastels, pastel rainbow, and black and purple. Okay. Those are the go-to colors that I have. And the other thing I don't like about this, I have to wait to make sure the paint dries so I can add layers properly, or it just starts spreading out ugly. I'll show an example in a bit. Oh, yeah, well, it's kind of an old movie now. I think I liked it better than the other movie that also had bugs, but I think it was just called Ants, and it involved mostly ants rather than a whole bunch of bugs. But I think they were released around the same time. A Bug's Life and Ants. That one was heavily based on a whole bunch of celebrities. Like I remember Jennifer Lopez was there. I forgot their names. That's how much I don't care about celebrities. I'm forgetting even the main. I think Sylvester Stallone was in there, and Dave Foley. I like Dave Foley. He's funny. Uh, some other people, but I freaking forgot. Woody Allen, maybe. I think Woody Allen was in there. He might have been the main character, actually. I kind of forgot. But yeah, I was not too keen on this movie growing up. I think I was already like a teenager when this came out. And my niece and nephew watched this more, and it was just okay. But as I got older, I kind of appreciated it a lot more. Plus, I like the vibrancy of colors compared to ants, where it's just like browns, different shades of brown. I was like, ugh. I mean, I like brown, but I'm like, you're a kid. You want some color in there, right? Okay, let me see what else I can throw in there. Oh, I haven't. Okay, so this is the part where I'm the complete opposite. I haven't watched a single Harley Quinn movie, but I've only watched Suicide Squad. I mostly watched the second one because my son likes Starro and that weird weasel guy. And that's about it. But and then I even had to do some kind of painting on like a 3D printed Starro. It looked pretty good. I like it. The only other thing though was I don't where did I put it somewhere. It's somewhere stupid. But it was all right. But Harley Quinn, I only remembered her from the Batman animated series. I liked her character there, and then as it progressed later on, I was like, oh, okay, that's just fine. Oh, I should have waited a bit, but just see how it goes. Oh, I'm so sad. Oh, I tried a little bit. Oh, there's a lot of singing. I noticed. It's not too bad. But I can't. I can only watch in a short burst because I'm always doing something at night, and that usually involves washing dishes, and so it's nice to listen to in the background while I wash dishes and stuff. But I've yet to determine if there's any favorites because I tend to just listen, um, browse lightly, listen, and here and there, and then I have a short attention span, so I tend to skip over here and there. But I did listen to some, so thank you for suggesting that. Are there any favorites you have? Well, I mean, obviously you should. You're the one who suggested it. This one, I don't think this paper is good for watercolor. It does have like the texture, but I think because it's so thin, it's supposed to be like a thick cold press sort of watercolor paper. I do have that, but I have to dig it out of my storage, and I don't feel like it right now. But um, I was looking into some watercolor books because I do like the look of watercolor. It's just I don't like taking out my supplies. It's a pain in the ass. That's the only reason why. Well, same with acrylic paint, but I'm a little more confident in acrylic paint than watercolor. Watercolor is a little hard to control. I'm not that good at only keeping it watercolor because the water makes the paint spread and it looks butt ugly and I hate it. So I try to fix the mistake with like acrylic paint pens, um, acrylic paint, and inks, other mediums that I'm a lot stronger at because this is I'm not very strong at watercolor. It's really hard to control unless you see it's already spreading, but I'm like, this is more of a test, so I'm trying to be a little bit more lenient with what I'm trying to do, whatever it is. But I do like the messiness of watercolors. It's not all clean and precise like digital art. I'm not talking bad about digital art. I just prefer like a kind of messy, washed out, but still, it still carries what that character or person looks like. So I need to try to get into watercolors a little bit more. It's just the process of getting all my stuff out. It's kind of the annoying part because I'm lazy. And so I have to try not to be like that this year, hopefully. Because I do need a break from acrylic paint every so often, so I'm not always doing the same thing over and over again. And the other thing is I sometimes try to make the acrylic paint look like watercolor, because I do like the pastel look of watercolor. That's why I kind of gravitate towards watercolor. I just don't like doing it because I'm lazy. Basically it. Okay, so I gotta let this dry for a bit. And like I mentioned, this paper is not very good for watercolor. It's already buckling, so you have to wait for it to dry up. Okay. Oh, shoot. Did I spill? Okay, no. Because this is not my room, and I don't want to make a mess to clean up. So while I let this dry a bit, I can show the other ones. I don't know yet. I haven't watched enough to determine a favorite. It takes a while for me to figure it out. I need to watch again to confirm. Just because I was just more into listening rather than watching, because I was listening while I was washing dishes. So I didn't pick out a favorite per se, but it was pretty good. I just now I have to look at the person to see which ones that are okay. So right now there's no definite favorite yet. Let me see. How do I show the other ones without making this smush on itself? Okay, so I only have 3 so far, and 2 are not done, and 1 is like 95% done. Let me see if I can try to show these without getting it messed up. So this was the first drawing I did, and then the only thing is, see what I mean with the watercolor? I think I have to put it up close. It starts doing this and I hate it. That's why I've been avoiding watercolor like the plague. I think if the paper was a little bit better and maybe the watercolor paints I'm using was a little bit better, I might not have to deal with this. So I definitely have to go over this with like pens and maybe acrylic paints to kind of clean the edges a bit. If it was the look I was going for, that would be fine, but it's not. And then the other thing I'm going to have a problem with these tiny little details. This is going to rack my brains out later on because this is really small and I don't like dealing with this with watercolors, but you know, this is from Sailor Moon Queen Beryl and she is decked out in a whole bunch of details. So I'm like, okay, I guess that's a challenge. So I'm going to try it. And I don't like how this hand is turning out. I'm not very good at drawing hands. Maybe one hand and then the other one's like, oh, I have trouble. And then let's see. This one is a little bit more simplified and something, I don't know why it was leaking like this, but this one is Kimi Kameline from Sanrio, one of the lesser known characters, but a lot of her merch on eBay is like going into $270 for like a plush or something, like a Puffalump plush and wallets and stuff. And I'm all like, I don't like you that much. So rather than shelling out 200 bananas for a wallet that some other person used and it's pre-owned, I'll just make fan art. It's a lot cheaper that way. The only other thing is this is not her original colors. I saw this, like, I think it was Emoji Kitchen that was inspired, I guess, where they had a turtle and a cherry blossom emoji and they put together and it was a pink turtle. And I was like, oh, that's kind of cute. And then I saw that I remembered the turtle character from Sanrio, Kimi Kameline. And I was like, I should put her in pink. So this is what happened. And the pink, it's okay. I don't like how this pink, I might have to change the pink a little bit. I think it's possible, but right now, this is what I got. And I'm going to try to adjust the pinks here and there because I think this is a little too neat for me. But yeah, she is really cute. That's why I was like, oh, we need to put her back. But cherry blossom version, because she's originally green with purples and pinks and white. And this is like a flower. Yeah, you can just look it up on, what is it? On Google Images. Let me write her name. I'm going to erase it though. I wish they brought, oh gosh, I can't spell, honest. Lady, you can't spell a Kameline. Kameline, I don't know. I think that's how you go. So yeah, that's her. Kimmy Kameline. Yeah, she was like the lesser known characters of Sanrio in the 90s, and she had a lot of stuff. Oh, a okay amount, but at the time I didn't care for her. But as I see retired Sanrio characters or dead stock characters and she pops up, like, oh, okay, I kind of remember her. But I tweaked her a bit. She's actually butt naked on the front. I thought that was so odd. I wish I had a picture of her right now. I don't have her stuff, but like, she only had the shell on the back. But on the front, she's like naked. She is in her birthday suit exposed. And I was like, I don't think that's how turtles work. So I just put a little shelf thing, underbelly thing here. So she is more decent. And it worked out. So I still have to work on this in a bit. And then this one was, I didn't know her name, but that's basically Queen Beryl when she turns into a giant. They call her Super Queen Beryl, I think, because she took up some power from Queen Metalia, and she was trying to get rid of Sailor Moon and stuff. And so I have the power apparently, and she's like this ginormous lady with long arms, and she's kind of stylish. I mean, like there's bad guys and good guys, but she had some fashion sense, so I kind of respect that. So I thought but I didn't do the whole dress thing. I just wanted to see what I can do with the hair because her hair is always floating around. The hair is just okay as I'm looking at it. I kind of did mixed media here. There were so many problems with the work. I mean, with the watercolor, so I had to go in and fix it. Actually, I need to fix that dress area. Let me just try to fix it. Because, my God, I was struggling with keeping everything in the lines. I was trying to stay all watercolor. I can't do it. It's really hard for me to keep things clean. So for those watercolor artists that can keep everything nice and clean, much envy. I wish I can do that. It's really difficult for me. I have to go mixed media when it comes to watercolor. It's just really hard for me to control, or I need better materials. That is also possible. I do have another sketchbook of watercolor, but again, like I mentioned, I have to dig out my storage, and I'm like, it's somewhere. I gotta look for it first. So maybe I'll do that later this year, hopefully. Okay, so yeah, I'm also not as clean with my lines as I used to be. There's so many talented artists out there. I feel like I can't compete. But I just do it because I like it. So if I keep thinking like that because I like it, then it's more motivating for me to keep going rather than what's the point of doing the art? There are people way better than me, and there are, but I don't want to keep thinking like that, or I will never get anything done. So I have to tell that part of my brain to shut up and just enjoy what I'm doing. Though, as I look at this, I can do this a lot better, but I just wanted to test. So this is like a test sketchbook sort of deal. So I just see how the watercolor works versus um, all the other mediums with it as well. And this one, I managed to hide some of the mistakes. Managed to anyway. And I'll try to work on it a bit more. That's why I designated this small sketchbook to test out watercolors, even though it's probably not the correct one. But I don't want to waste extra money on larger materials, better quality, and then turns out I can't do it very well. So we'll see how it is. Who was that? I don't know most of the people young people talk about nowadays. I noticed, and it's not just you. I just mean in general. A lot of people make references to people like, "Oh, you're kind of like insert person here," and I'm like, "I don't know this person. I am old." And yes, that is a fact. I am old, but I don't know. Most of the time, I don't know most of these people, so I'm like, should I check them out? Maybe, but I have too many things going on, so I don't really pay attention to other um, channels too much, except other I tried to look at craft channels, but a lot of them turn into unboxing channels. I don't like that, and I don't want to be like that too, even though I have this. Oh, this is my husband's Valentine's gift. It was a blind box, but it was a good one for once. Roast duck. Ugh, that sounds hella good right now, actually. I want some roast duck. I haven't had that in a long time. But yeah, it's very cute. And my husband's like, what the heck? Why is he carrying? What is this weird thing? And I'm like, It's cute. Enjoy it. No, no, I don't. This is proof of my age. I don't know anything. Okay, actually, I could make this kind of dark. Okay. Oh, no, it's still wet. See, the other thing about watercolor, it takes so long. I could dry it with a hairbrush, but I'm like, I'm the one paying the electric bill, and it sucks. So while I wait, I can continue with this. I'm pretty sure I don't know. Yeah, most things you're gonna say, I'm most likely not gonna know about it. Or the things I might talk about, there's a high chance, high probability you may not know about it either. So that's fair. Oh gosh, I did mention that I was going to talk about things in my title, and then I think I can start off with the SEAblings, the Southeast Asians versus the Korean netizens. I mentioned it last time, I think, but I think it got a little worse, and they're getting into. Oh, it was already worse prior to that, and there were some things that Southeast Asians, especially in the Philippines as well, and Thailand, that they address about how they only have certain places only for Koreans and Koreans only, and you're in like the Philippines. And I was like, what the fuck? That doesn't make sense. Yet they have the nerve to talk smack about, you know, where places where South Koreans do business, and they talk and look down. I'm like, I don't like that crap. Like, who are you to say that stuff? And then some people online try to address like, well, we're better because we have GDP or whatever, or we have a better military. I was like, that's not what we're talking about. We just want you to stop being racist and apologize and then move on. That's it. That's all we're saying. And then they go to all these other things to show that they're more elitist and better than other Southeast Asians. And then they start offending other countries as well. So they're all ganging up. It's just a big mosh pit of ridiculousness. I did jump in one comment where they're being like a piece of work, but then that's it. I'm not going to invest because it's all over my feed on threads. It's really annoying. But my God, I'm pretty sure they know what racism is when it's targeted towards them. But then when it's fine for them to throw out racist things towards people they think are beneath them, which I think is not right and stupid and very short-sighted and narrow-minded and uneducated. So, but that's not to say that Southeast Asians don't butt heads. Like, oh my God, the stories I hear about headbutts amongst the Southeast Asians. But it is kind of neat to see how they all get together and try to, put them in their place and tell them, hey, just apologize, admit that you're wrong, and let's move on. That's what they're trying to do. But then they start throwing racist AI images, which I didn't notice. And I'm like, oh my God, that's so lame. I was like, ugh. And then there are some South Koreans that say, hey, we're not like them. We're with you guys too. Just don't lump us all together. So they're talking specifically about the Korean netizens that are stupid and racist. Only those dumb dumbs, not all of them. And oh right, I did mention I was going to talk about my experience in South Korea because I did experience that level of racism because I was Filipino. I mean, I'm Filipino. And it was mostly from older South Koreans when I was asking for help. Like they would give me that dirty look, like you don't have to know the language to know that they don't like you and they for your existence and being a Filipino. And I had that. Now it kind of really pissed me off, but I had no choice because I needed help, and no one was there to help me direct me to like the hospital for do my paperwork. And turns out I didn't have to go there, but again, no one was there to help me. And so I had to figure, and I ended up paying up more money than I should because they want money, even though they look down on me. They want my money, right? That makes no sense. So it was a nightmare to deal with, but I can't say all South Koreans are like that. There were some super helpful, kind South Koreans from the older generation that was willing to speak English to me, even though I didn't know a lick of Korean, but I really appreciated it because I wasn't there to learn. I was just there for paperwork. And I remember making a comment about that a while ago, and then some stupid moron was like, you need to know the language. You have to be there, and they're not so they don't owe it to you to know. Like, I'm not there to live there, stupid. I'm there to do my paperwork and get the heck home or continue working in China, stupid. But people don't like to read. they want to get on their high horse and have their little soapbox storytelling to put me in my place. And I'm like, I didn't say anything about that. I just need to go from here to there. And there was some racist dumb, like I even got kicked out of a taxi because they refused to make a turn towards my hotel. I was like, what the fuck? Like, you don't like money? I guess not. So I had to leave. Like, what am I going to do? But I did find someone else. Not all of them were like that. Again, there were some really kind, respectful, funny South Koreans that were willing to help me out. So I really appreciated that. But the ones that make the country look bad are those people who don't want to help out, that look down on you for being a different race. That's really stupid. So that stuff sucks. And they really need to work on that shit. And it's not, it hasn't got improved, it seems. It seems to have gotten worse. So it's like y'all need some reform in human relations with people of another ethnic background, because that's really shameful to be acting like that, and you're an adult. Oh, it's just drawing. It's fine. Yeah, thanks. Take care. Have a great rest of your day. I'm just going to continue this. Wait, what time is it now? Oh, it's only 1. Okay, so I can't be around here too long as well. I'm probably going to be here for like, um, I don't know yet, but I have to go out on errands again, even though I did errands this morning. I have to get some takeout and see what happens from there. So this work in progress is more with just finishing the details of the lighting. Oh my god, I struggled with this just because there's too much detail for Vecna, but I also like details, and then I have to suffer for it. You like the detail, go suffer. I'm like, oh, thank you. But I could have done more actually, but what's that? Right now I'm just gonna leave it alone. If I mess around with it, I'm never gonna get anything done. Anyway, yeah. So I thought it was really weird that there's this beef between Southeast Asians and Korean netizens that are very ignorant and racist. It's like, and I it's very misguided where there's like, can you please stop? I'm tired of it. And I'm like, yeah, I'm tired of it too. Stop. Just say sorry. What's and they're already trying to like boycott K-pop and Korean stuff, and yeah, they're really that pissed off to want to divert away from Korean anything. And I was like, oh, okay, I guess that's a thing now. But yeah, again, hey, those people who are making everyone else look bad, that's on them. And also, some of the Southeast Asians were showing really racist things too, so I don't like that either. But just say sorry, admit that you were racist, don't do it again, and move on with your life. That's all. That's all they're asking. They're not asking for money. They're not asking to blah blah blah. Like, but they don't. I don't know. It's like, my God, talk about being stubborn as balls. But what is it? Yeah, like with me in South Korea, while I didn't like my experience there and getting shortchanged and treated like a second class citizen there and getting yelled at to get out of a payphone area, I was trying to contact my husband, but she was being a bitch, and she was an old lady. Yeah, I can call her a bitch. And so I was trying to get contact because it was so hard for me to, because yeah, I was by myself and I had no idea what the heck I was doing. And um it was really annoying that I didn't have to do some of the things I had to do that involved money. And so I was like, I just want to get out of there. And the person that was supposed to help me was being a butthole too. So while he did help me, while I was freaking upset at the time, I'm still not thankful. That's how messed up that person was. I was like, but I had no choice because I had no help. But then they didn't even help me at all. They just like, okay, you're on your own. I was like, what? I've never been here. What the hell am I supposed to do? So I had to figure things out all by myself, and it freaking sucked. And I was able to do it, but barely. It was really annoying. And so I should have taken that as a red flag when I started working at that job. But anyway, despite encountering some South Koreans that were a piece of work and I didn't like them, there were some really kind, very cool, very funny, charming South Koreans that I really know, I do know that they do make their country a better place and ignore those pieces of shit that kind of wreck your day. You kind of have to. Um, but if I want to go back, probably not. If anything, I need someone that can speak the language or like, oh, you should learn. Like, I'm not gonna be there that long. That's the other thing. I can learn a little bit, but don't expect me to have like a whole encyclopedia's worth of knowledge of South Korea, whatever's. And I'm just staying there for like 4 days, you know. Plus, yeah, that really soured my mood. But that doesn't mean I don't like all of them. Okay, that's I know that. But it feels like you say, I don't like these few people. They assume you hate all of that group of people. Like, that's not true. I just told you. Can you use your comprehension skills? And yeah, apparently no. But yeah, that's it. I don't want to talk too much about that too much. It does get grating after a while. It's like, okay, okay. All right, something else. And then yesterday, I saw one of the singers I listened to on YouTube sing in, I think, I'm pretty sure it was Mandarin. They were singing Chinese, and they said in dedication to the legendary Khalil Fong, and they were singing. They said in the caption on the shorts, "Rest in peace." I was like, "Rest in peace? He died? He didn't die. He didn't die. He didn't die." So this was in my head like really fast. Like my head jerked up literally. So I went on Google to look up his name. He died last year in February 21 in China. I was like, what? How did he die? And he had some kind of illness that he's been dealing with for several years apparently. I was aware he had an illness. I can't pronounce it right now. Don't tell me to pronounce. It started with a P. And then he had it for several years already, and he did take he went on hiatus. I remembered, and I was like, oh, what's going on? He hasn't been releasing a lot of. He was releasing album after album, then he stopped, and then he after a while he released another album. Um, but you can hear the difference in his voice from that last album to his past work. It's like, oh my gosh, he must have been going through it. But I thought he was similar to like Jet Li, like he had an illness, had to take a very long hiatus of some kind, but he will come back and start working again. No, that was not the case. And I just left it alone for a whole year because I was like, life happens. So I was like, oh my God, I was so sad. I'm still sad about it now, but now I gotta do some fan art. I didn't know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm not a good fan. But yeah, that was really sad because he's a year older than me. That was another thing too. He was like a year older than me. I was like, oh my God, what? Oh, his poor family, and for the actual fans that did keep track, wow, man, oh my God, that's so freaking sad. So yeah, and then turns out I don't have all of his albums, so later down the line when I go to China, I'm gonna try to look for their albums. I tried looking on eBay this morning. They only have the ones I have, or they have his lives. I don't know. I'm not really big on live shows, but I do regret not going to his concert that was held here in the city. He had a tour in the US, and my city was one of the places he was going to have a concert. But my husband doesn't care for his music, and I don't want to go there alone because it's kind of gross here. So I was like, oh, I guess I can just be happy with the music he releases. And yeah, now he passed away. So I was like, oh no. Sad. Yeah. And the kind of music Khalil Fong or Fong Da Tong, I think that's his Chinese name. Don't tell me that it's that's wrong. Like, ugh, okay, I'm not very good at pronunciation, but he does like very contemporary R&B, uh, jazz sometimes, some Chinese pop here and there, and but he speaks Cantonese, and yet he tends to sing more in Mandarin, and I like the Mandarin songs he has. It's pretty neat. Like I could imagine listening it in the U.S. It's just in Mandarin. He has influences from Western artists, especially the ones that stood out to me was Stevie Wonder and Michael Jackson. There were some other ones, but I forgot. But he's really good. I'm surprised not a lot of people know about him. But yeah, that's so sad that that's how it went. Ah, there's only one person. Thanks for tuning in, though. That's so sad. He's really young. What the hell? People talk crap about, oh, in your 40s, you're old, you're a dinosaur. And then when they pass away, how old were they? They were like 40. What? They're so young. I hate that shit. That pisses me off. But yeah, that's what happens sometimes. It fucking sucks. Yeah, maybe later down the line I'll do some fan art of him. I was that was in the back of my mind a while ago during like brainstorming on what else can I draw besides weird creepy alien guys or weird creepy scary guys that prey on children. I was like thinking I was gonna do some dedicated art to like past music artists that I would listen to, even to this day that I still listen to. I just worry that they will see my work and either hate it or they'll tag me and they'll say thank you. And I don't want to be known to them. I don't want to exist. That sounds so odd for someone, you know, like usually people like, I want to be recognized by my favorite artist. Me, I'm like, no, 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 don't talk about me. Get away from me. I get too embarrassed and I don't know what to say. And I feel like I sound like an idiot. But I would like to make some art of some of my favorite music artists. Um, because they were a part of my childhood and being a teenager into college, and even I still listen to their stuff now, every so often. And I was like, oh, that's real. I remember that. That's nostalgic as hell. I like it. So, and he was one of those. I've been listening to his music for about, I'm gonna say 15 to 20 years. I'm pretty sure. Maybe around 15 years. It might be a little longer than I haven't kept a solid track, but yeah, I did listen to him for a long time and I always enjoyed his music. It's not too loud like some Asian pop or Korean pop music. It's like, yeah, it's nice mellow R&B. I prefer that stuff. And it's not like the gross yuck stuff that I hear on the radio nowadays. No, it sounds nice. I like it. And he talks about love and this and that, and it's really cool. And he even had a song about Wukong. I was like, oh, yeah, the Wukong song. That's pretty cool. And it's like, oh, he had like a whole bunch of big projects too. So I was like, oh, all right. But yeah, yeah, hope he's not suffering anymore. Poor dude. Okay, anything else I can talk about this so I won't get morose and sad? Oh, shoot. Let me get another color. That's not too bad. I did have some little detail here. Okay, so I need another marker. And those are the only two things that stood out to me right now that I remember. And I was like, oh my God, I could not believe it. I don't believe it. Oh my God, Father Ted. Oh my God, Father Ted. I think YouTube may still have Father Ted, all 3 seasons on YouTube, unless they did something stupid and they got rid of it. Oh God. But I was able to watch Father Ted on YouTube a while ago. I might have to watch it again. That one was a really cool series, but then I think they had to cut it short because they're all like, we can only do these gags and jokes for so long. I think it'll get very stale very quick. So I think on the third season was the final season of Father Ted, and they ended it. And it was basically about like 3 priests living on Craggy Island in Ireland, Craggy Rock or Craggy, I forgot. And then they live with their maid who serves them tea and sandwiches, and she's like a live-in maid, and they just have like these weird antics and stuff happening to them. Um, and you would think, oh, priests, then Catholicism, that sounds boring. No, it's not. It's pretty interesting. It was pretty funny actually, and they would do some things that they wouldn't get away with here, let's just say. But I think one of my old friends from DeviantArt introduced me to that series. It's hella funny, and I liked it. He didn't show me all of the episodes at the time, but it was really funny. I was like, oh my God, what the hell? But then I later found out after the third season, right after the main character, the main actor who played Father Ted, I forgot his name, I'm sorry. But the guy who played Father Ted, he passed away. I think it was a heart attack or something with his heart. He passed away right after. And I think he was still in his 40s also when he passed away. Ugh, so sad. I'm sorry that this is supposed to be a happy Friday, not a depressing ass Friday. But It is what it is, and that sucks. And I notice a theme that they're in their 40s. Ah. But yeah, I do appreciate entertainment where they did their best, they did their work, and they love what they did, but at the same time, when health issues arise and it's out of your control, it's something else. We can only do the best we can. Yeah, I'm gonna go to China at some point, and then I'm gonna try to look for Khalil Fong's albums, the more recent ones. I have, how many do I have? I have one, two, three, four. I have about four albums, but I think there was like two or three more. And maybe I'm gonna try to find his older stuff too, even though I didn't really care for the first ones. But they're his debut albums, so I might as well try to get them, and hopefully I can. But I have to ask my husband to help me. There's also Chinatown, but I kind of doubt that they have it. But I have to look. But yeah, that's, oh my god, that's so sad. I'm gonna be saying that for a while. I'm sorry. Anyway, what else can I talk about? What's been happening? Now, right now, I'm trying to go by memory. I'm pretty sure a lot of this is wrong, but right now I'm like, okay, let's just go rogue and fit and just eyeball it and figure it out and see what happens. Because I'm not really gonna look through my reference on my husband's computer. It's gonna take forever. How he has his system versus how I have my system are very polar opposites. So, yeah. Okay, no one's watching. They didn't want to hear about all that desk talk. I laugh, and yet I have zero followers, watchers, whatever. Okay, so I'm just checking what's going on. Okay, because I have to keep track of what time it is because I have to go out in like an hour. I have to buy takeout, and then I have to get my kid. I hope I don't have. I have to time it so I'm not like wandering around outside too long. Like wandering around with no purpose. Um, I try to get things done when I go out, but then if there's like, oh, I can actually do whatever, I'll just end up doing window shopping or something, or I just go inside. Oh, what's inside here? Or I buy snacks. That's the one thing I need to stop doing, buying too much snacks. But a lot of things taste good lately, so I'm like, oh my god, I need to stop. I need to stop. But I do notice there's this huge uptick of people buying the matcha. I know I'm like it's not a notice. Like it's well known that matcha lattes are super popular. I never bought one. Fun fact: I never bought one. I did notice that there were like these matcha places popping up left and right, like Starbucks when Starbucks was super popular. Now it's matcha. But and they say, oh, it's healthy, it's green tea. But I think some kids ended up being in a hospital because it's overconsumption of iron or something. Um, and also some people when they have boba or those tapioca pearls in their drinks, they don't chew them thoroughly. They just swallow them whole sometimes. I mean, I would understand a few because you're chewing some and some like they're in your throat, but chew your damn tapioca balls because some of them don't get digested and they're like compacted in your intestines somewhere, and you have to go to the hospital and get them taken out. What the hell? Because you'll get stomach pain. You have to go to the ER and they'll charge you money. ER is not cheap, man. So, yeah, there's some health concerns in regards to dealing with not just matcha lattes, but also just tapioca drinks, and a lot of them are high in sugar. And yeah, you're like, oh, why you're nagging me? No, don't tell me what to drink and not to drink. Hey, this is for me. I don't know about you, but I used to drink that stuff a lot in high school. And it was actually made out of the actual fruit, like watermelon boba. Oh my god, that's hella good. And I would pay for 1.99 for it. Supposedly it was even cheaper than that, but that was cheap for me, and I'll accept it, so I don't care. But Yeah, the watermelon boba was like my go-to drinks during high school with my friend. It was actually my friend that introduced me to the watermelon boba drinks, and it was hella good, and I liked it so much. But they closed down, and a lot of them just turned to Quicklies and other tea Taiwan drink places. And I was like, oh, okay, I guess. But they turned like from 1.99 to $8. I'm like, oh fuck. I think also $4 then $8, and I'm like, ugh, I ain't fucking ew, no. And then or sometime later, I heard like the tapioca pearls are also made with some sort of carcinogen that or cancer causing agents. I was like, oh, I can't have cancer now, can I? And while I was like, I still drank it a few times. It just lessened and lessened and lessened over time because aside from the whole cancer causing agents, that's one thing. I'll probably still drink it anyway. But what stopped me from drinking boba, tapioca, pearl drinks, whatever's the long lines. I don't like lines. I don't give a shit. If it's the best drink in the entire universe, if there's a long ass line and you have to wait 2 hours, I ain't fucking waiting. Even 30 minutes, 10, 20, 30 minutes, I ain't fucking waiting. 5 minutes is probably my maximum. I'm not waiting for 10 minutes just to get, because that happened to me once in Hawaii, because there was some shaved ice and they made such a big deal about it being made with pure pineapple. And I thought, like, I wasn't supposed to be even there. I was supposed to go to this other place. I think it was called the. Wait, what was it called? Oh no, I forgot. It was like a hole in the wall shaved ice place, but they closed early. And it was our last night at Hawaii, and I wanted some ice. And then I remembered, oh, there's that place that talks about having pineapple, fresh pineapple. And I was waiting. It was almost an hour. That pissed me off. I wanted to leave, but my husband was super stubborn. He's like, no, we're already here. We might as well get it. And I was like, and so we finally got our stuff. You don't even get to see a person. You have to go tap it on the machine. Like, oh, okay, I guess. And then when we finally got it, and we were rained on while waiting. Fun fact. Um, I ate it. It didn't taste good. It was just average. I rarely eat shaved ice, but I know average when I taste it. I was like, I wasted almost an hour on this bullshit. It was not worth the money at all. So I was so pissed off. So never again I'm gonna wait in a fucking line where it involves food and stuff. The only other time was the Sanrio store in Little Tokyo, which I thought was so stupid. But I haven't seen the Sanrio store on my end for since 2013, like an actual Sanrio store. And so I was like, okay, fine. And then they have a time limit when I went there last time. So you can only be there for 20 minutes and you have to get out. I was like, what the fuck? And no returns. I was like, what? No. So that was really like a very unkind looking environment of Sanrio. So I was like, oh, God, man. What the fuck? So yeah, I don't like lines. And I was able to stave off boba. The only other exception is I get it for free, and my brother is like, "Hey, I have some extra grass jelly lychee drink. You want some?" Like, "Oh hell yeah, gimme, gimme, gimme." And then that was about it. I don't really order tapioca drinks anymore. If I'm lucky, if I remember, maybe, but I haven't really bought one out of my own volition. And it's not a brag. It's just, oh, I didn't notice I haven't had it for a long time. But I remember actively drinking that stuff around high school and early years of college until they started closing. They mysteriously went on a vacation and never came back. And it turned into a Philly cheesesteak sandwich place. Like, what? What the hell? And that Philly cheesesteak place is still open right now. I was like, I just don't go to that cheesesteak place out of spite. It's like, you took away my boba. Anyway, they also have crepes. I just remembered they wanted to expand their menu, so not only did they have boba drinks, they also had crepes with ice cream and savory crepes. I was like, man, what happened? Why did they not get successful? That was such a shame. Okay, I'm gonna try to put some highlights. Oh, hello, what's up? Sorry, I was just reminiscing on the time I had boba in high school long ago in a galaxy far away, and it was replaced by a Philly cheesesteak stand. And they're still here to this day, so I'm kind of bitter about it. Not real bitter, just I'm too lazy to go there. Okay, let's see. And then I was talking about some sad stuff and it scared off some people. It's like it's okay to talk about sad stuff and you don't have to have like some dramatic backdrop, dressed all in white, go the stupid calculated sighing in the beginning. You don't have to do all that. Just start talking about sad stuff and that's it. And I'm not supposed to be laughing. It's just how the scenario went prior to you showing up. Okay, so I gotta let, not gonna let, I'm gonna try to find, what, do I have white pink? Oh, yeah, I do. I just use this, I think this one. So I'm looking for the other color to do highlights. And I'll go back to this lovely creature of the day. And see, oh wait. Oh gosh, the maybe I should just get one side because only one side seems to be working. The fine tip doesn't seem to work. And then the brush also has a fine tip. Kind of weird. I have to make it look wet and slimy. Kind of gross. Oh, my reel on Sailor Moon Cosmos is still ongoing. I think the last time I checked, it said 270,000 K views, and I'm still getting likes from it. And that's the only thing that's garnering anything. I'm like, still thank you, but at the same time, because when I put my actual art stuff, not even few friends give a crap. That's how bad it is. Like, is my art that bad? Jeez. Like, I can't be drawing anime boobies and stuff, and I think if I did that, or Dragon Ball Z, I do like Dragon Balls to some degree thanks to Team 4 Star, but I'm not going to be drawing it all the time for the sake of garnering more attention, because like I got other things I like too, not just Dragon Balls. So, and I did draw a few Dragon Balls, but even then that was not too much traction. So that was kind of a pain in the butt. But oh well, what else is new? But meanwhile, I'm still getting comments about, some of them were pretty cool. And then there was, I think one yesterday was mentioning, oh, I hate to break it to you, but those are all women, not men. And I'm like, yeah, I know, thanks. And that's all I put, because, yeah, I already know that. I already knew that. I'm not that out of touch with Sailor Moon. Though I did start rewatching the old series already, like all the way in the beginning. There's some episodes I never seen, and it's in the first story arc of Sailor Moon. I was like, I don't remember the one with the jazz pianist guy. I don't remember that at all. I never seen that here. And I remember watching some small video about Sailor Moon on how Dick, I think that's what they're called. DIC, that's what they're called, Dick. I never say Deke, I don't know. But they hella censored, I don't know if it's Deke or something, some other program, but they censored certain parts of Sailor Moon. And one of them was Sailor Moon in the bathtub. Like, she had cleavage and she's like 13, 14 years old. And then they hit it with something. And I was like, oh, okay. And then this was the original Japanese. I was like, oh, okay, I see why. But I was like, she's taking a bath. I don't give a shit. But yeah, like even though we had, edgy 80s and 90s stuff, including cartoons and Sailor Moon, they were heavily censoring stuff left and right like a crazy person. So yeah, there's always that. Yeah, this whole thing about glorifying the 80s and 90s, there's a whole bunch of bad crap there too. It's not always all gumdrops and whistles. Back in the day, gumdrops. That makes me laugh. But yeah, it ain't all what it's cracked up to be. And I think a while ago I did mention some things I don't miss about the 80s and 90s. Well, 80s I don't remember. 90s I remember a lot more. But what I don't miss about the 90s. I do remember some drinks in the 90s I miss, but I think one of them turned out to have poison, or not poison, but like, oh no, did I just paint on you? I think there was recall because there's some kind of chemical agent that was not good for you. I think it was Pepsi Blue. And I thought that was so cool. I like Pepsi Blue. It was pretty neat. And I remember buying it at the at Walgreens after school. And I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. And then all of a sudden they stopped selling it. I was like, what the hell happened? Turns out there was something in there that, I don't know if it was a cancer causing agent or something that, cancer causing agent, sorry, or something that was not good. And they just pulled it off the shelves. And then the other one, I remember Ecto Cooler. It was just green colored orange juice, or green colored punch. I thought that was neat. And then there was also Orbits. I think there's some people online that are trying to recreate the Orbits balls in the drink because it looks like a lava lamp. I think that was advertised to supposed to be a lava lamp you can drink, but it's not lava. I drank it. They made it was okay. It tastes like something. I was all right. Didn't taste anything mind blowing. It was just, oh, okay, it just tastes like chubby balls. Chubby squishy balls, I guess. And then what else is there? I remember those yogurt fruit snacks from Sunkist. I miss those. I miss those a lot. I don't, anything I see similar is just okay, but for whatever reason back then the Sunkist yogurt fruit snacks were hella good. And then I remember there was some McDonald's restaurants. Oh, this wasn't supposed to, but that's fine. They had play areas for kids. Now they took a lot of them down. Though I think some of them might have been like problematic and unsafe, but most of them were all right. Like, just don't get your head caught somewhere. You should be fine. Oh my god. Anything I don't miss though. I'm talking about things I missed. I don't miss trying to record my favorite songs because I was too, not poor, but too cheap to get the tape cassette or the CD. Oh, yeah, I didn't have a CD player at the time. So I would record music from the radio using a blank tape. And then I would wait for the tape, the stupid song to show up. And then I had to press record and play at the same time. And then I tried to avoid the stupid guy talking, the DJ talking, or the commercial running. And that was the same with me trying to get my own anime on Saturday Anime on the Sci-Fi Channel, where I tried to record on VHS on a blank VHS tape in the morning. I had to wake up at 6 in the morning on a Saturday, and I had to go to my dad's work to help out at 8 o'clock. So I have a 2 hour, I had to wake up hella early just to get my favorite anime, and thankfully I did. That was how I was introduced to Akira, Project Echo, Vampire Hunter. No, I saw Vampire Hunter D prior, but they showed it there again. They had Cavern, Rojin Z, Venus Wars. What was that? Record of Lotus War. I don't care for that though. I heard it's really good, but I don't care for that. Anyway, there were so many animes there that I enjoyed, and I think also Robot Carnival. I miss Robot Carnival. But yeah, I had to wake up super early before my dad to tell us, like, you gotta go work now. And I was like, oh, dang it. So I had to work a little harder to get what I want on hard copy. There was no internet. Yeah, I was around the time that there was no such thing as internet. And I don't miss dial-up. I don't miss dial-up at all. It's they say, oh, it's installed. Like, if you actually lived during the dial-up times, you would fucking hate it. Like, oh yeah, I have it, but then you have to share your phone line with the actual phone and the internet, and oh my god, it was a pain in the ass. And then when it went out, oh my god, whole other nightmare. And then there were people bragging about, I have broadband on AT&T. What do you have? I don't have shit. And then they would try to send me videos on YouTube, and oh my god, I couldn't even watch a YouTube video. I remember that. That was so painful to deal with. Not real painful, but it's like, oh my god. It took like an hour to get like 53 seconds worth of video on YouTube. That's how bad my internet was on dial up. And I think I had something else later on, but ugh, I don't miss dial up. And then what else I don't miss? Some other things. Trying to think what else. It's already 1 hour. Okay, I need to go soon. Oh, no one's there. That's fine. 1:42. Oh yeah, I need to go soon. Anything else I don't miss? There was a lot less representation about in mainstream media of special Asians were there, but not very. There was. It's very scarce, scarce, very few. And then with Filipinos in particular, I mostly heard not so good things, or they were playing other races like Hispanic or Native American or even white, I guess. I don't know how that works, but, or it was very uncommon for me to see that. But then there were a few Filipino um, actors, actresses, I'm not sure, but I know of Dante Bosco and Ernie Reyes Jr. Those two, I was like, oh my god, they're really, that's so cool. But it wasn't very often. And I think sometimes they might have received roles that were like just background fodder or something stupid or racist, and they would, I think they most likely turned it down. And then there was some talk about how, the whole Epstein file thingies are talking about it. Like, oh my God, don't get me started on that. But like, they were mentioning how they were shaping how millennial women's upbringing in terms of pop culture and what to wear and how to act and how to attract boys and this and that. Like, the people who were in charge of coming up with like stuff from Bath and Body Works and Victoria's Secret, all that stuff was influencing young girls and teenagers to dress all sexy at a young age and stuff. And then they showed like a list of those things that were attractive, supposedly attractive to young girls, and but I wasn't familiar with any of those growing up. Thankfully so, but I, even the ones I was familiar with, particularly Abercrombie and Fitch, um, Bath and Body Works, and Victoria's Secret, I didn't give a shit about any of them. And at most, maybe, um, what was it? Bath and Body Works, because it was popular back in the 90s, especially the one with cucumber melon and the one with the apple. And it was more like my sisters were into it than me, but I was aware of it, and they had some nice smells, but not enough for me to be actively buying there too much. Though I think I was there mostly to buy Christmas gifts later on for my family or relatives, and that was about it. But then I stopped when they would joke, "Oh, you think I smell?" And I was like, "Do you want it or do you not want it? Like, make up your mind, shit." So I ended up stop buying that stuff because they made jokes about me thinking that they stink, and maybe they do. But it wasn't so much like it was the source of my wanting to become a woman, or wanting to look attractive to, like, no. So I was kind of glad I did not follow what everyone else was following. I didn't give a shit about that. I just wanted to draw in the corner, wear my baggy clothes, have some snacks, watch my cartoons, anime and stuff, and go to bed. That was all I wanted to do, and probably hang out with a few friends. That was it. Not what these other women are talking about. And then the whole celebrity worship thing, I'm also glad I didn't follow down that route, because I didn't give a shit about them, because none of them looked like me. And the ones that were mostly boys. And, well, hey man, I like guys too, but I have a short attention span. So I didn't really care for celebrities in general, so I was like, oh, okay, they're Filipino, that's all right. And then I just carry on my merry way. All right, then. So I am glad that I did not give a crap about celebrities and trying to emulate them and trying to be like them. Like, no. Um, I am very glad. Even I look back at my childhood where I was definitely taken care of and protected. Like, you're not having a sleepover, you're not going to that what party, you're not gonna go out clubbing and stuff and doing weird shit. I'm kind of glad for that now. I think back then I kind of wish I did a little bit more, going out with friends to go clubs or whatever, but maybe it was for the best because you don't have to go to that party. You don't have to go to that flight to some rich guy's island. Oh my god, that would actually freak me out. If anyone invited me to an island that's only for exclusive members, I'd be like, "What do you mean exclusive? What do you mean by that?" Because it's unheard of for us normal folk. Like, what the fuck? You have your own island? Is that a good thing? What do you do there? Do you just sit there and watch TV? What? Then when you turn out that they don't just watch TV, they do nefarious things. It's like, thankfully, there are also people on that list that were trying to warn the public, like in messages or what have you, or songs even, to avoid going to these kinds of parties. But I guess they were just overshadowed by money and the masses and being iced out. And yeah, shit, man, it's hella scary. Anyway, sorry this extras is kind of much today, but I didn't have much to talk about, and that's what's been going on recently. I will probably not talk about it later today when I have my actual live stream. I think it's episode 114. Yeah, I keep track. Well, it's technically 114, but yeah, I'm gonna sign the heck out now because I didn't have lunch, funny enough, and I'm gonna recap what I did so far. Thankfully, I did something, but it was just mostly cleaning up the details. And I gotta dampen. This looks too shiny now, so I'm gonna try to dampen this, darken it a little bit. I do have my grace period. This one doesn't look too good, but it's fine. Excuse me, and I have to clean up this area. It's still kind of dingy. But yeah, this is gonna take me a lot longer because there's all these details. But at least I got some small dents here and there. But I don't like how this is turning out because I'm not using a reference. But I can still fix it. I can still fix it. I can still fix it. And then earlier I was working on this and they left. They didn't like your bulbous face. I still like you. Oh. But yeah, I wanted to test out my watercolor markers, see if they still work. They do, but also I might have to try and test on an actual watercolor paper book thing just to see what happens and compare and contrast. Because while this does have some kind of similarities to watercolor, it's very thin. This is not, you're not supposed to be working on it. But I wanted to use this as a test just to see what happens. And so far, it's okay, but I wish I can make it a lot nicer and cleaner. I will continue this maybe later tonight and maybe another drawing later. So this is what I have so far. I got her. I think she's the only one that's technically done. I don't know if I'm going to add any more. I'm kind of tired. And then I have Kimi Kameline, but as Cherry Blossom version because I saw something from Emoji Kitchen and I had to do it. And then there's also regular Queen Beryl where she's a sorceress and lusting over Tuxedo Mask. I'm like, ugh. I almost called him Tuxedo Sam. But yeah, I'm going to have a hell of a time because of all the details in her jewelry, but we'll see what happens. And yeah, so I'll have the regular LiveWIPs later tonight, 10 or sometime after 10 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And yeah, I think that'll be it for now. I'm going to sign the heck out and try to eat something because it's almost 2 p.m. Yeah, it's like 10 minutes in almost. So have a great rest of your day. See you later tonight. If you want to join or not, that's fine. I get it. I'll try to have more positive, nicer things because I guess I had to release the not so great stuff happening recently and stuff that I wasn't aware of until this year. It's so embarrassing. But at least I know now. So have a great day. Take care of yourselves. Um, drink more water and have a good rest of your Friday or Saturday, wherever you are. Okay, bye bye.